5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's time to count down reality TV's most talked about moments with Amanda Bella. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Bella Talks TV. Amanda Bella here, and it is Friday, December 8th, TGIF, and we're making our way through the last month of the year. I can't believe it. As you guys know, if you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back again. If it's your first episode that you're here for, then thank you so much for joining me here, and you'll get to know me very fast. I'm in such an open book, and I'm just a girl in New York trying to get married in April, planning a big wedding out in Las Vegas, so I talk about that often. And speaking of being here in New York, I mean, it's just the coolest place to be in if you are a Bravo fan, because there's constantly events going on here. And obviously there's such a huge East Coast Housewives presence. And obviously Andy and Watch What Happens and everything is all filmed in New York. So to me, New York City really is the epicenter of Bravo and like the heart of the network. And of course, with a lot of the reunions and stuff are filmed here. And it just has that special like tone. You can usually call back to a lot of New York moments when it comes to a lot of the shows that we love and watch on Bravo. And I myself got to see some Housewives in the flesh the other night, a little mini BravoCon. On Wednesday night, I went to the Page 6 event, the virtual reality live show hosted by Evan Reel and Danny Kashmir. And I met them both. They were both very, very nice, awesome guys. And the show was really cool. Like, I even told them, like, the way you have to be able to hold a space, especially when you're going to be sitting on stage with housewives and just flowing in the conversations and keeping, of course they're there to get tea, the virtual reality part, they even call it themselves. They're there to get drama and stuff, but it's also just like a real conversation. And the venue that it was at was so small. I got to go, it was at the Chelsea Table and Stage. And so you walk in, it just looks like a regular, honestly, like almost like a hotel or something when you walk in. And it was just such an unsuspecting place. It does not look like, like the Gramercy Theater or anything. Like, it's not like it was some big venue. So you walk in and you check in, and then you go down the stairs to a basement area, basically. There's a bar on either side of the room, and then there's a stage in the middle, and then it's all seats. So it was tables of 4 or tables of 2, and then there was like a back row of booths. And it was just a very interesting venue because I've never really been to a show like this. It's almost like a place that could be for maybe like a fundraiser or like I don't know. It just was a different type of vibe. So I knew it was going to be intimate, but when I originally got my ticket, I just bought like a single ticket, and I knew I would know somebody there. But I'm like, let me just get a seat and a ticket, and when I get that, I'll figure it out. But it wasn't general admission. Like, you had a seat where you were supposed to, sit in your seat. So when I got there, I realized that my seat was just like right up kind of in the front, and then also like right next to the door. And like, it was a good seat and everything, but I just don't think I was like mentally prepared to be like, I knew that this was being filmed and it would be used for things. And I'm sure I wouldn't have been in it or anything, but I was just like, well, let me like not sit like in the front, right in front of these housewives and be like staring right up at them. And so I decided to just kind of like hang back and sit at the bar with some people that I knew there. And it was so fun. It was a really good event. Okay, so who was there? It started with Winter House's Danielle Oliveira and Winter House Summer House. And then also Summer House Martha Vineyard's Jordan. I don't remember Jordan's last name. I do follow her online. I just know her. She's like Jordy Jor online, DJ Jordy Jor. So she was also lovely. I met her, and very nice. And it was just a very interesting dynamic that it was her and Danielle that were there together, because if you've been watching Winter House this season, I'm not sure if anybody is, but if you are, please, DM me, let me know that you're in the conversation. Tell me what you think of this whole dynamic that's going on with Danielle and Jordan, because, okay, they're friends. They seem to be like girls. I'm trying to really put my finger on like, okay, they seem like they get along. They seem like they're definitely friends. So they show up they're at Winter House, and they obviously both, like the first night, Alex props him below deck, kind of goes in to kiss Jordan in the hot tub. She pulls away. But they stay in this like flirty space, like, friend. I think Jordan probably, not that, I don't even know. I don't even think she's really into Alex, especially seeing her at this event. Like no one's really with Alex or anything like that. They're just all friends. But at the time, it seems like her and Danielle are not really necessarily fighting over it, but Danielle's definitely jealous of the relationship that Jordan has with Alex. And so she confronts Jordan and is like, oh, are you only happy? Like, you seem like you're unhappy here, or you seem like a really low energy, low vibes, low vibrational person. And is it because you're like not getting attention from guys? And to me, that was just like projection 101. Like, I think Danielle is actually giving off like the bad vibes because she's not getting the attention from Alex that she wants. So of course, hindsight, and like when you're not the one in the drama, you can see that so clearly. It was just as frustrating watching her with the Carl and Lindsay drama, when it was like, okay, it's not that you're not right, or that maybe, you don't have your finger on the pulse of the situation, what's going on, but it's not really your business to be like in someone else's relationship, or be really just inserting yourself into it. So again, Danielle, it just seems to be a little bit like frustrating again. It's like, girl, what's going on here? Like, I like her as a person. I just don't know why she always gets to this space. I have a few theories, but I'm going to say, maybe it's just the party environment. So I know that they can have like a lot of high-end, and plus being on TV and stuff, like I think maybe just everything's times 10 with her a little bit. Love her, love them. It was really fun to go to that event and see them. They are obviously in a good place. They were there hanging out. Just a really funny thing. I'm going to just have to keep watching Winter House to see what else is going to unfold. I know that a lot of things that has still been being said again at the Page 6 event. Jordan was saying that like Malia and Corey did kiss. Like, there was another kiss that wasn't shown, and that's the kiss that she was referring to. So there's just other stuff that we don't get to see. And ew, I'm really not trying to hate on Malia, and I want to be a woman that supports other women, but she just bothers me. I'll just leave it at that. Then the second group of girls that came out were Brynn Whitfield and Jessel came out. And, no real new information there. Love them both. It was just cool to just be like hanging in the same room with them, like all, having drinks, and it just seemed like a conversation, like a party that we were all at together. So that's cool. So they were saying that, Jessel and Ben were saying that the new RHONY contracts have not gone out yet. So they don't actually know who is and isn't coming back for next season. There's been no filming yet or anything like that. And again, I think I've said my predictions before. I really do think Jenna is done. I love her too. Like, I appreciate her. I'm pretty sure I did watch her show that was on HBO back in the day. That, I believe, was also one season too. So maybe she just likes to do like one season snippets into her life, which I respect. She's kind of private, but then also a public figure. So I love Jenna still, even if she doesn't come back. I do think Sai wants to come back, and that she probably is trying to find a way that she's going to be able to come on. And I can just tell she's somebody who is trying to control her own narrative. And I think it's just going to hopefully be not as easy as she thinks, because this is a game and the Bravo fans are very smart and, evolved, and we're going to be able to know if she's serving us real information or not. And she has to be careful, because it's easy to get away with things if you don't talk about them, or if you deflect or whatever. But if being pressed, I don't think that she's going to be able to be a good enough liar. And I do think that if pressed enough, we will finally be able to crack some of these facades that she's trying to put up, because I still believe that there's a lot going on with the timeline of her and her husband. There is a lot going on with, it's not, like I said, not even anything bad, just things that that they have every family and everybody has skeletons. So she can't pretend like she just tells us everything just because she thinks what she told us is enough. It's like, no, we need more. But that was really cool just to, see them. And I'm curious to see what's going to happen next season. I wonder if Uba's going to come back too. Like if she does. So I think again, so remember Lizzie Savetsky, the girl that was supposed to be filming that got fired the first week because of, all of the racial slur, alleged rumors and everything. So she was gone. And then that's when Uba got moved up from a friend up to being into the show. So, oh my God, I just had a flashback to remember that time when Uba got called over to Jenna's to do filming and Jenna didn't tell her cameras were there. And she showed up and was like, Jenna, next time I am here, like you better tell me if there's going to be cameras. Like that is not cool. And that she's scary a little bit. She really let Jenna have it, which is also again like kind of respectful if you can walk in and like toe up with Jenna. So anyways, yeah, that was a really cool part of the night. And then they went on to Danielle Cabral and Jen Fessler from Jersey. So, okay. I definitely have thoughts about Jersey for this season. So Danielle was very insightful about the fact that she confirmed what we all already knew, which is that Jackie just is desperate to stay on the show and is just looking for, relevancy. Yes, we know this. So Jackie really wants to stay a part of this. She was willing to align with Teresa and Jen Aiden and go over to the dark side. So she's over there now. And Danielle, I can tell, like, she just got played for a season and now she's determined to come back. I think and have like a bit of a redemption season. So I'm excited. I hope that she finds her voice in her second time around here. Now, Jen Fessler wasn't even a housewife in her first season, and she's just been like such a huge part of this season. Now, or this whole cast. Like, I don't know why. If it's because they can't have Melissa and Teresa out doing events, if it's, Rachel Fuda, I don't think is like enough of a fan favorite or dynamic enough to also be getting called to do these events. So, and then where's Dolores? Like, I don't know. Like, to me, Jersey isn't exactly like must-see TV right now. Of course, I will never miss an episode of Housewives no matter what. I would have to be literally on my deathbed to miss an episode. So I will be watching and be very invested, but I'm just not sure what to expect from this season. So anyways, that was a really fun event. Just such a treat to be able to do that stuff here in New York. And actually, so I'm going to be here in New York until through the new year, going to Michigan actually, which is going to be truly like going home for Christmas every year is like the North Pole. It's like the winter wonderland, northern Michigan, tucked away. I take my dog. It's just the best up there. So I'm excited to go back for the holidays. I will still be putting out new episodes every week. I was laughing to myself, just being like, oh, I'm recording on a Friday night now. Like, I kind of just record and put this out whenever I feel like it at this point. I don't really have, which probably isn't a great like business structure, but I do just do this because I love it. And I will just try my best to get an episode out every week. I just don't ever know what day or what time it's going to come out. So through the holidays, I'm going to keep putting out content countdowns, having all of these thoughts for the end of the year about all of these shows still every week. So continue to join me. And let's start to get into the next segment of the show. So if this is your first time again here, the next part after I usually do like a little intro like I did, then I like to talk about the things that no one is talking about, because there's usually one show that I'm watching that no one is talking about, and that I just kind of give myself a chance here to be like, okay, if anyone out there is watching this too, here, thank God, listen up, I need to vent. So, okay, so I see still nobody is talking about the Kardashians. Like, I guess if it's just oversaturation, if it's just people really not caring, if it's just us already knowing everything because of social media ahead of time, not really sure like why nobody cares. But I watched this whole Hulu season. Season 3 just ended. I just watched episode 10. And okay, so let's just run through what was going on with the ladies this year, because I feel like no one has really been talking about it, but there was like a lot of stuff, I guess, that's been going on within their lives, and there's still the American family of royalty. So I'm going to just talk about the Kardashians for a few minutes. So, okay, Kim. Let's just start with Kim. So Kim's in her single era. She is really, really trying hard to convince us that she is, okay, she is clearly a workaholic, yes. Almost like with Paris and Love, which I'm going to be talking about later in the episode too. Her and Paris give the same vibe, like total workaholic, like addicted, cannot even imagine if like they don't have one day being at the exact same like vibration that they were the day before. Like they can never rest or like simmer. So Kim is just really fired up this season, working, taking on, doing so much. Now, again, she is a single mother, and we all know like the nanny game is hard. But to me, like she shows a lot of like, trying to take the kids on trips. She's taking North to the Met. She's taking Saint to soccer games. The two other little ones, I don't know if like they're just too small to be on camera still, or if like they're just too small to really like have little personalities yet. But it doesn't seem like she really is with them that much. But whatever, I digress. At least I don't know. It's the opposite than Khloe. Khloe, I don't think ever leaves her children. So there's got to be a healthy balance somewhere in between. But I would like to see her maybe being a mom more, maybe not worrying about like doing all of these other random projects that really, I mean, I don't know how many people are out there watching American Horror Story Delicate, but I'm like a Kardashian fan, and I wouldn't even be bothered. I would have to be, I guess, I don't even know if it would have to be like COVID again. Like what level of boredom would I be to be like at that pandemic time when we just needed more and more TV to watch, where I would start to get to the point where I would actually watch that. I don't know. Basically, I'm saying I'm just not that bored to watch that. But she really pushed herself to do that and stuff. I don't know. She's really trying to become an actress. She's clearly invested. She was talking in this last episode. She's filming with Julia Roberts. Oh, yeah, no, Emma Roberts. Not Julia. Julia was on Watch What Happens Live, though. I hope you guys caught that with Andy. But Emma Roberts, and Kim is like, oh, I have so much respect for actors and long hours and all this stuff. And I don't know, it seems like she's really going to be taking this route. So she's going to be in this new show, or this new movie too, called Fifth Wheel, coming up. So apparently that was also written just for her. So, all right. So Kim, the actress, is here to stay. That was basically what this whole season was about for her. Now, she's always trying to convince us too that like she's got her own style and stuff again, but I think I already ranted about this before, about how she still cannot do anything without getting like approved by everybody. So I don't know, I'm not fooled with you yet, Kim. Like I don't really feel like you are getting it. I feel like you're really out of touch still. So yeah, those are my feelings about Kim for the end of the year. Now Khloe, again, I've been really also giving her a really hard time. It's very, very obvious that her and Tristan are together. So they need to just also rip the Band-Aid and make that like official. I don't know if she's trying to just keep it from us as long as possible now. I don't know what the deal is, but I've slowly just lost all of my joy and love for Khloe for the years, because she just seems to really have like lost all of her own self-love. So it's really sad. I've said before so many times that Khloe used to be my favorite. She used to be so full of life. She let Tristan really, really kill her soul. And she needs to be like Beyonce, like, you won't break my soul. Like, she needs to work so hard at just finding something outside. Because I'm not saying you shouldn't love your children. Obviously, you should love your children and be a great mother. But there's just so much more to making somebody a good person than being a good mom. Like, being a good mom can't be your whole personality. So I really want Khloe to get back to finding other things. And also, besides like working out, like, yes, we're so glad that you're healthy, but you look great, Khloe, all right? Like, you don't need to keep doing more to your body either. Like, we're talking about the inside, like your personality, what makes you tick. Like, you used to just be so fun. So yeah, I love you, Khloe. Hope that next season we get to see you at least find some true peace and happiness. And that brings us to Kourtney. So Kourtney was my favorite this season. We never really did get like a full resolution about the big fight with her and Kim. It just really reminds me of me and my sister. Me and my sister are just a lot like Kim and a lot like Kourtney, and we fight the same way about each other. So it just really reminds me of my own family when I watch this. But we, of course, love each other, and we are in a good place right now. So it just makes me laugh when I see them. But I do want to know more about the real truth. I still am laughing about their big fight this season about the Dolce Vita lifestyle and who, gets to have Italy be their wedding country. So those were all epic fights this season. And I think that Kourtney's pregnancy journey was actually pretty cool to see. I mean, I'm laughing because it was very obvious that she was pregnant all season, but everybody really was like so surprised when she revealed things. But hey, it's a lot different than with Paris again. Like, I cannot wait to talk about that again later. Okay, so anyways, that was the end of the Kardashians. I probably could just talk about their nothingness forever. If there's one thing the Kardashians are going to do, it's going to truly serve nothing and give me hours to talk about of them doing nothing. So, bye Kardashians. See you next season. And let's move on over to my OMG and LOL of the week.
Ha ha, laugh, funny. That's funny? To me, it's funny. Yeah, do you have a sense of humor?
Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. My diamond earring.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Start this week with the LOL of the week first. So again, if it's your first time here, every week I talk about a haha funny LOL moment of the week. And then I also talk about an OMG, a moment of the week my jaw was on the floor, and just something that I have had in my mind all week. So this week, my LOL of the week, we've got to go check in with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. This whole episode, this Dinner Party from Hell Part 2 episode, really was next level. And even though I'm going to talk a lot about Denise, like, it wasn't just Denise that was acting crazy here. So let's just go right to the part, though, that really had me cracking up the most, which was when Denise actually, it was like I guess it wasn't just one particular moment. The part, of course, where Denise put the jacket on upside down, everybody is talking about this moment because that was the most obvious and like flagrant showing of her just like bizarreness in that situation. But the funny thing is that that wasn't even like the worst part of it. To me, the part that really had me laughing was, okay, so they get it from the table and they're walking into the other room. And they're walking like down the hallway, and I think it's Erica and Kyle that are with her. and they're walking, and she's like, whoa, like, she's like, there's more over there. and she's trying to walk to like get to the other room and stuff. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of speculation of just like what she was on. It's obvious that everybody said that she wasn't drinking that much at the dinner and that she didn't partake in any of the THC at the weed dinner. So I'm unclear what was causing all of this to happen, but it was just really funny. And the fact that we know that she's okay, like she's okay physically at least, mentally I'm not sure what's going on, but really, really cracks me up. So first she starts coming for Erica's throat at the table about apparently all of this drama about why she was mad with Erica and why she thinks Erica's such a bitch is just because she brought up the threesome at the table at her house in front of her kids like 3 seasons ago. Like, Denise, that is such old news, and I love Denise, but come on, let it go, move on. I think that it's got to be something deeper that we don't know. I feel like that cannot be the true excuse. Now, that's the excuse that she gave at the lunch the next day when Crystal and Carcel and everybody invited her to come to lunch the next day and kind of like clear up what she was trying to say when she was fucked up the night before. But I still just have questions, Denise. I have questions still about what the hell is going on. Now, again, going back to the part where Denise's jacket is upside down. Now, Dorit, sweet little angel Dorita, my favorite. Oh, love her. She is like, oh, Denise, I think your jacket's upside down. Denise is like, don't do this. Dorit, do not do this to me. And Dorit's like, no, I'm really trying to help you out, sister. Like, please let me just fix your jacket. It's upside down. Denise was not having it. She like swatted her away. I was cracking up. So then after Denise, remember on Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, there have been many blunts smoked. So I think that, she's not as much of a pioneer, but definitely the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, that's pretty iconic because Beverly Hills is the most, typically the most buttoned up and kind of like pretentious. So I have to give props and snaps to Sutton for that because that was actually like she's a real one for that. That was a really funny party. That whole episode, I was really LOLing the entire time. Crystal had a really weird moment in her confessional, you guys. Like, what was up? What was she doing when she was like doing the finger guns and she was like going like, bitch, what? And she was like laughing and being like, bitch, what? Like, part of me thinks like Crystal maybe says a lot of weird stuff and just has to get cut out of like a lot of stuff. I don't know if everything that she says like lands all the time. Is she problematic also? I don't know. Let her, Bravo, if she is, Bravo needs to like let her problematic freak flag fly so that we can really see what's going on with her. But anyways, that was a great moment of the week for me. Loved that whole episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and definitely interested to see the rest of the season unfold. So moving over to my OMG moment of the week, that's next. I hope you guys are watching, but if you're not, this is my beg plea for you to next Thursday, make sure you have your DVR set, make sure you have your streaming prepared for Southern Hospitality. So today's Friday, last night was the season 2, episode 1 premiere. Okay, so you have time to catch up. All of the new episodes. And if you have Peacock, you can go back and watch all the episodes from season 1 are on there, and it is phenomenal TV. I loved season 1. I know people don't like this comparison, but I don't care. To me, it is major Vanderpump Rules vibes. I mean, this is raw. I don't think these people got paid at all for season 1. I'm convinced they literally just got free drinks for doing the whole season. And I think they got to go to like a NASCAR. They got to go to a NASCAR. That was their group trip. You guys, they had an RV and they went to a NASCAR event last season. Oh, this show is so good. Please go watch Southern Hospitality right now. But that is my OMG moment of the week. So the whole premiere was good as fuck. It was one of the best premieres I've seen in a while. So if you haven't seen season 1, I apologize. You might get a little bit lost here, but I'm going to just assume everyone's seen season 1. And season 2, we're going in hot. Now, Leva, you guys know Leva from Southern Charm. She owns Republic Garden and Lounge. And that's the club that all of these people work at. And it's mostly girls. Like, most of the cast is girls, but there are a couple of men that are key players. Joe Bradley is one of them. Now, Joe Bradley is dating Danielle Oliveira that I was just talking about from Winter House. They're actually together now. They met at BravoCon, and now they're together. So again, like, all of these worlds are just twisted together. It blows my mind sometimes. But Joe Bradley is on this season of Southern Hospitality. He was on last season too, but he's like the VIP bar manager. So you guys have to know he's like the bar manager. And this is the real bar that these kids work at and run. And this is not like for the show. So I really believe that they all work there. Now, Leva owns this bar. She owns many other bars in Charleston too. She owns a bar called Bourbon and Bubbles. She owns a few other ones too, an Asian restaurant, a couple other things. She actually is like a boss. She's not that dynamic on TV, but she did serve one iconic moment, which is my OMG moment of the week. So Leva, she doesn't really get into the mix. She actually hires somebody this season who comes in as a manager, who's basically somebody who's there to like whip everybody into shape, because she's been allowing everybody to drink and like get away with shit for so much and for so long, and she's had enough. So she's like, I'm bringing in this person in. She's gonna get everybody like not drinking on the shift anymore. No one's gonna be late. Everybody's gonna be focused, and like this is gonna be the new vibe here, professional. So of course the kids aren't happy about that, which I totally get. I used to work in the bars and everything in Chicago for many years, and clubs and bottle service and everything. And you want to be able to drink when you're working there. Like, if you have a couple shots with your tables and stuff, it just makes the night so much more fun and makes time go by faster, and it makes it feel like you're not working, because it does feel like you're just like partying instead of working. So it kind of like softens the blow. So when Leva tells everybody not to drink anymore, like, people are pissed, but they're trying to respect this. And then there's one girl, if you guys remember from last season, Lucia, who has a child. And her baby daddy is also I think he also was like not problematic in the way of like, you know, just in the sense that he, I think, cheated or she cheated. Like, they didn't have a great relationship, put it that way. So it's a toxic relationship. She has this kid, whatever. Well, it's revealed in this episode that Lucia was drinking on the job and she gets fired. Now, apparently she's worked for Leva for 7 years. And obviously she has this child and she's a single mother. And people are pissed at Leva for firing her because they're like, wow, what the hell? Like, why would you do that? Why would you let this single mother go when she's worked for you for this long just for like drinking on the job one time? And Leva's like, you don't understand. Like, I'm not going to put up with this anymore. Like, I don't care if I'm using her to set an example to everybody, but I am. Like, no more drinking on the job. And so people are pissed and they're uprising. Now Mia comes in. Mia is also an interesting character because you can tell that none of these people ever thought that they'd be famous in a million years, but now it's season 2. So everybody's coming back with that season 2 glow up, a little bit of an attitude, a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, just that like, like that little like, yep, I'm back, like we're famous now. And you can feel that coming through the camera. So they all are like ready to film. Now, Mia is best friends with Lucia, who got fired. And so Mia basically confronts Leva. And she's like, Leva, I don't agree like with what you did with Lucia. And Leva's like, well, I don't need you to agree. You know, I am the owner of this place, and that's pretty much it. And Mia should have just shut up, but she couldn't help it. And again, it reminds me so much of like Jax, when Jax would like headbutt Lisa Vanderpump basically over like who was in charge. That's kind of like the vibe Mia was giving to Leva. It was seriously like like she was really stepping up there. And I again have to wonder like if she was seriously like just maybe drunk or like, you know, something, because she was just aggressive. She was coming up with guns a-blazing. And so she goes up to Leva, whatever, and she's confronting her about this. Leva's telling her, like, I don't really care what you think. And then Leva said something like, I was nice enough to have her come back, after she had the kid anyway, pretty much. Like, it sounds like there was maybe she wasn't supposed to come back after she had the kid, but then maybe and my guess is when the baby daddy like didn't end up being together, she had to go back to work and Leva took her back. So, as somebody who, whenever you leave for a baby or not, oh no, okay, I mean, you are protected, but it doesn't seem like it was maternity leave. Anyways, Mia basically says like a slight to Leva about her like maternity leave, and then it was just definitely a shady comment about maybe Leva's treatment of Lucia, and Mia just gets fired on the spot. Like, Leva's like, you're fired, you can leave, and that's it. I mean, they also discussed like whether or not Mia's drank on the job. One thing leads to another, and just the look on Mia's face when she gets fired, her jaw hit the kitchen floor. Maddie was standing there too. If you don't know who DJ Maddie Race is, I'm obsessed. She is also a character, a cast member of Southern Hospitality, and she's just a very dynamic person. So you have to please go watch the show. Part 2 of this OMG moment. So Maddie is sober. Okay, she is from New York, and now is down in Charleston. I think her family moved their entire family down there because she was like a troubled teen in the New York City streets, like when she was 13 to 15. And then by the time she was, an older teenager, I think her whole family was like, so she basically went to rehab, and then now she's been sober for a while. I think she's 24 now. These kids are so young. So she's 24 now. She's this bar, VIP manager also at Leva's Club at RHOBH, and she has this shit boyfriend named Trevor. Now, I am also triggered by exes named Trevor. because my first boyfriend's name was Trevor, and when I was in high school, I went high school clothes shopping, and he cheated on me with a girl that I went to high school with that worked at the McDonald's. And so ever since then, I've just hated Trevor's. So she's dating this guy named Trevor, and he also cheated on her before, and they broke up, and then they got back together. And now he has been cheating on her again, and it's getting back to her. And when she finds out in the middle of her shift at RHOBH that he's been cheating on her again, she clocks out, she grabs a shovel that's at RHOBH, like RHOBH property shovel, puts it in her Audi, drives over to her boyfriend's house, and is prepared to smash his TV in with this shovel. If that isn't VPR coded, I don't know what is. That is iconic television. I was on the edge of my seat. When he opens the door, he has the chain on the door so she can't come in. Please, you guys have to go watch this show. Oh my God. If you are a VPR fan, she is like if Stassi and Dodie had a baby. Like, is that possible? Is it possible? I am obsessed with this show. Go watch. Okay, and now we've made it to my top 5 countdown of the week, the number 5 most talked about moments of the week from across the Bravoverse, from across all reality television. This is what I've been seeing online this week that everybody has been talking about the most, and there are some good ones. So, I mean, I think we always know Bravo is serving. I'm going to talk a little bit of some Bachelor on here, a little bit of Paris in Love, and a little bit of Dancing with the Stars. So let's get into it. Coming in at number 5 this week, the number 5 most talked about moment is going to be Vicky coming out of the OC. OG of the OC has not received her contract yet to come back, not even as a friend of. Now, she did say that she wanted to be full-time again or bust. I think everybody can be negotiated with, but looks like she's not even being offered. And let this be a lesson, I guess, to everybody who tries to go up against Daddy Andy and NBC, Universal, Big Brother. Because I don't know if you can make demands about contracts. I think that when you try to come in and say, like, there'll be no show without me, or this and this and that, I think that, even with Heather Gay, like, a lot of people have been talking recently about how she said she would never film with Monica again. It's like, let's not get it twisted here. Like, you don't get to make those decisions. So I really do believe that Vicky should have been back for next season. There's so much drama going on in the OC right now. Now, let's also talk about Alexis and Shannon and John Jansen. I always have to do the voice like that. If you're a Ryan Bailey, so bad it's good. Ryan Bailey, John Jansen. He's so funny. But John Jansen is the new Slade Smiley. Like, I cannot believe he's housewife jumping through the OC like this. Like, I don't know what is going on. Like, is it that the OC producers work harder than the devil? Like, what? How is this possible? Like, there's no way Alexis is with John. Like, the only thing that can make me think that there's anything somewhat true about this is that, okay, Shannon was desperate not to lose John. She really thought that he had something. Like, whatever this guy had, like, she was freaking addicted to it. Literally, she hit a house on the way, or like, she hit a house in her other car on the way to go see him. Like, she could not stay away from that D. So is there something there that Alexis is also seeing? Like, does John have some kind of, like, secret something? Sometimes, I don't know. I don't want to allegedly put anything out there. I don't know if they're, like, using things together. You know what I mean? I don't know. Not really sure what's going on there, if that's a toxic relationship or not. But if Alexis is single now, you remember that guy that she was on Below Deck that she was, like, dating before? Ugh, don't even get me started about Jim Bellino. She obviously has questionable taste, but there's just a lot going on with the OC right now, and I just am really interested to see what's going to happen next season. And I really, really wish that we can get Vicky back into our screens somehow, some way. Please, my last cry out to Bravo, if you're listening, please bring Vicky back. Bring Vicky back. Moving on to my number 4 most talked about moment of the week. Let's go over to ABC and check in with our Golden Bachelor because we finally made it to the finale. We finally got to see Gary propose, and I mean, I was crying. I definitely cried this whole episode. They talk always, again, they're very cognizant of talking a lot about like what it's like to find love in your 70s and never giving up and just the, the meaning of life. And it is a very inspirational show. Now, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it yet, but in the end, we know that he decides not to go with Leslie and he goes with Teresa. I was a fan of Teresa. I think she's such a little cutie Pooh Bear. Now, people are really trying to turn on Gary and say that he only went with Teresa for her money because after he found out that she basically was like rich, a rich financial advisor, that he wanted to be with her instead. And that people are also saying that he wanted to go with her because he liked the idea of living in South Carolina instead of moving to Minnesota. So I don't know. Let the man live. Him and Teresa seem very in love. And I think Leslie's going to be the Golden Bachelorette. She was also the youngest contestant, I believe, that was on the Golden Bachelor this season. So it kind of makes sense that she would be the Golden Bachelorette. She will find love again. She's hot. She's a fitness instructor. She's got a great personality. She's going to do just fine. So I really, really liked this season. I love the Golden Bachelor in general. I'm so here for another season of it. I hope they do another one. And I even loved how at the end he actually gave Teresa an actual golden rose that was like made out of gold. He was like, this flower will never wilt. Oh, never die. That was sweet. These really seem in love. I am team Gary and Teresa. And I hope you guys are also watching Bachelor in Paradise. We're coming up on the finale. I actually think it was last night. I didn't even watch it yet. I don't ship any of these couples. It was a horrible season, but I am, of course, watching, and maybe we'll talk about next week about what happens. So we're moving on now to my number 3 most talked about moment of the week. We would be remiss as a podcast, as a podcast girly, podcast host here. We've got to go talk about Rachel. We have got to talk about Rachel Goes Rogue. She's here. She made her big public debut. Rachel Raquel Leviss is back. And she went to the iHeart Jingle Ball and basically was like, hey, I'm with iHeart now, and I'm going to have a podcast, and I'm going to be talking every week, reflecting and hearing my side of the story. And I will not be listening, but I definitely know that people are interested to hear what she has to say. I did listen to the episode of Two Teas in a Pod that had both Tom Sandoval and Tom Schwartz on. And, never any new news, but I'm definitely not as annoyed with Sandoval anymore either. That just shows you, like, time heals all, people. Time heals all wounds. This too shall pass. Sandoval, I have a feeling I'm actually going to start probably enjoying him again. But Rachel's podcast really has brought us to so many different precipices in reality TV. It was a moment frozen in time. The girl is a mistress icon, and whether or not you like her, I think that you just get a lot of money, right? Like I don't know what it's like. I obviously do this podcast for free. I produce it, I'll record it myself. I don't have ads. I don't know what it's like to make any money from this. It's just I just like to do it. So if somebody came to me and they were like, hey, we want you to do 16 episodes and we'll give you like, I don't even know, $1 million. I'm sure she got like $1 million, right? I think like $1 million. I don't know. I don't even know what a big podcasting contract looks like. I think Alex Cooper, call her daddy, got $5 million with her contract. Something like that. So I don't know. She obviously got some money to do this, and I don't blame her. I don't blame her for putting it out there. Because somebody approached her, gave her money to do it, and she's going to do it. But I don't think she's ever going to do it past her contract when it's up. I think it will go away like every other celebrity podcast, and it will just be like another thing that's used for content and sound bites in the meantime while the show is airing. So, I don't see any longevity out of this, but I think that it's like her bridge to come back and be somewhat relevant again. So no competition here, Rachel. No, you're probably going to have the number 1 podcast every week, which is so sad because, she's just doing it for the money. But anyways, okay, moving on to my number 2 most talked about moment of the week. We're going into Paris in Love. God, everyone is talking about this, and it is well deserved. To me, I have to say, season 2 of Paris in Love on Peacock is the best season of reality TV, I would say, maybe besides that last season of Vanderpump Rules, that I have ever seen. It is the most real I've ever seen a reality star ever be. She talks about everything. I don't think that she edits it. She's willing to basically blow up everybody's shit. She doesn't hold back. She exposes everything. She does her little confessional sitting in her closet, which I feel like she just knows she can be safe in there and just say whatever. And I think because it's her show, she gets to really control everything about it, but she doesn't control it in a way that Kim Kardashian does, where she's just fake. She shows us everything. This woman is giving us blood, sweat, and tears over there. I am obsessed. So if you haven't seen it yet, first of all, she completely just shows up with a baby. Nobody knew that she was using a surrogate and that the surrogate was pregnant. She hides it from everybody, literally everybody. She finally realizes when the baby is 1 week old that she needs to tell somebody because she can't hide it forever. She's like, I better tell my mom first. Now everybody is petrified of Kathy, and I am too. I am so scared of her. That woman is dark. I don't know what is going on there, but there's something very, 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 very deeply wounded about Kathy Hilton. And the lip gloss. Oh my God. Can we talk about her always having to pull the lip gloss out? What a weird tick. Makes me very uncomfortable. But she finds out for the first time that she has a grandson when Paris comes in with a blanket. I did not like the blanket move. It was very Michael Jackson. To have the baby underneath the blanket. She should have just came out with a stroller or something, right? Am I the only one that thought that they kind of botched the delivery of the baby surprise? They should have had a stork bring it in or something. Who knows? They could have done so many other things. She brings it out under a blanket. And then Kathy realizes it's Phoenix and it's her baby. And, I don't blame Kathy for being pretty pissed. I think that that's a normal reaction. But I also could totally see why Paris didn't tell anybody and why she wanted to have the first thing in her life be a secret and just enjoy the process. Now, it seems like she did the exact same thing with London, her daughter that was just born. Literally didn't tell anybody. It was complete surprise again. I think once was enough. Did you need to torture everybody again and re-traumatize everybody? Probably not. I know personally my family, I wouldn't say they would never talk to me again. I know that they would, but I just wouldn't want to put them through that. So I think you have to really almost hate your family to want to hurt them in a way where you keep something like that. I don't think that she realizes it came off like that, but that's how I see it. It really looked like she was trying to revenge them for everything they've done to her. Okay, you treated me like this and you traumatized me. Well, now this is what you got. It was kind of eye for an eye. So dark, but also fascinating as hell. And I'm obsessed. I laughed. I cried. My eyes were literally chafed from crying. Paris and Carter in the hospital waiting for the baby to come in. Iconic. They're great parents. I do believe. Now, again, Paris is really struggling with the same thing. Workaholic, cannot get enough of just being away from your baby. It's that's such a messed up thing, I think, to think oh, my baby's a little peanut and he'll never remember that I was never there for the first 4 years of his life. No, I mean, I know that it's only one, but still no. It's not a mom guilt thing. It's not you have to go to a 9 to 5 to provide for your baby and you're making us, we're guilting you for that. You have all of the time and resources to be and give this baby love. Don't let him grow up also with these same kind of feelings, don't perpetuate the generational trauma that Kathy gave you, Paris. Be there and be that loving, and don't be that sterile workaholic mom. Be that loving, goofy, comforting kind of parent. That's what every kid wants. So that was the whole season 2. If you haven't seen it, it dropped all the same day. So I watched it all in one day. I don't know about you guys. I have no self-control and I'm just ill. So I watched it all in one day. That's why I'm talking about all in one day. But please go watch it. It's so, so good. A lot of Nikki Hilton in this season. I really liked seeing her a lot. It was just a really good season. And now we are here to my number 1 most talked about moment of the week. It's a really good one. I cannot wait. You know that I'm a Chicago girly. So I am here to talk about ARIANA officially announcing that she will be playing Roxy Hart on Broadway in Chicago. Now, I, love Chicago. Chicago was one of the first, Broadway show movies I ever kind of got into and saw. I love the whole story, obviously, as a woman. It's like a story about female empowerment to me. I think that so many iconic Bravo celebrities, obviously Lisa Rinna, Erica Jane have played. Nene Leakes played Mama. She didn't play Roxy. But there's been so many amazing people that have been in part of this show. And ARIANA was a natural fit. Now, I know nobody's going to believe me, but I actually thought to myself before, when I was watching the Dancing with the Stars finale, and they were going through all of the people like Charity and Xochitl and stuff that were going to be on the tour, ARIANA wasn't going to be on there. Now, I had a couple of thoughts. One thought I had was she's injured and she's, 38. Maybe she's going to sit the tour out. Number 2 I had was maybe she's going to win Dancing with the Stars and maybe the winner doesn't tour. I don't know. In my head, I was like, who knows? And then number 3 was maybe she can't tour because she's going to be busy doing something else. And a myriad of things came through to me. One of them honestly being maybe she's filming VPR and she can't go on tour, which was my guess. And then also I really thought to myself, maybe she would be on Broadway. And of course, when you think of Broadway, if you're already going to think about Broadway, you're going to end up thinking about Chicago because it is such an important show and it's just a constantly running show and a lot of Bravo celebrities have done it. So it was a natural fit for her to do it. Fucking perfect. And I can't wait to go see it. I cannot wait. I wish that she would have won Dancing with the Stars. Every season it's always like this. Somebody wins that, you're like, damn, I wish that someone else would have won. The Marvel community is just sick. Who are these people voting for Xochitl? I don't know. ARIANA she would have been such a great representation. But honestly, maybe it was what she needed. Maybe it just would have been too much. Maybe it would have just been ARIANA overkill if she would have won. Maybe people wouldn't have been happy for her. Maybe it would have flipped on her. So actually, maybe because she didn't win and coming in third, maybe it was just a little bit of self-preservation. Not that she had any control over it. I'm sure she would have loved to win. But it just, humbling-wise and fan-wise, people can maybe not go as hard on her about it. So that is just another week of drama, scandals, LOLs, OMGs in the Bravo universe, in the Golden Bachelor universe, and in the Kardashian universe. Thanks for going on this ride with me again this week. Like I said, I've just been kind of taking it one week at a time, but I appreciate each and every one of you for showing up to listen to this for me. And stay tuned. Again, after the new year, I'm going to have a whole new schedule to the show because I'm going to have people coming on and discussing these moments with me. So I will have some great special guests, other podcasters, hopefully some Bravo celebrities coming on. So continue to stick with me. Again, this is only episode 8. So I appreciate each and every one of you again. And wishing you all happy holidays, happy Hanukkah if you celebrate. It just started yesterday. And I just love you all, each and every one of you. So continue to take care of yourselves and ciao, Bellas.